What's up, Bertini fam? Now in today's video, we're gonna be installing a new spoiler, a GP style spoiler on my 2020 Mini Cooper JCW F56. Now, as you can see here, I decided to go with a full carbon fiber setup, both the carbon fiber sides, as you can see here, and then the carbon filer, definitely not carbon filer, it's carbon fiber. Some things I'm already noticing is that I'm gonna have to drill some holes here. I thought these came with pre-drilled holes. I do got the hardware here for all this stuff, and they do come with these black aluminum adjustable braces, adjustable something. Anyways, that'll allow you to add more downforce if you'd like. And now the other thing is this spoiler cannot be installed with a Cooper S type spoiler, and it can definitely not be installed, well, definitely for both of these, but definitely cannot be installed with a Mini Cooper JCW spoiler. So what I did was I located on eBay a used base model Cooper spoiler in piano black. Now I'm probably gonna have this thing either detailed or I'm gonna have it resprayed in piano black because it's not in like the most amazing condition. The paint's not horrible. I'm sure a detailer could probably get like the swirls and like the water spots and stuff like that out of this thing, but who knows, I might get it resprayed. But at least the bottom looks really good. Anyways, so that's the plan for today's video. If you have not yet already joined the Bertini family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This way you can stay up to date on all of my build series content. By the way, I think I've located a new Harley Davidson. I have not sold my bike as of yet. My bike is for sale, but I don't want to put miles on it, and therefore I am going to have to locate my next build. Yes, I am going to turbo it, and yes, it is going to be a big motor, but you're going to have to wait and see what it's going to be. With that being said, enough talking. Let's go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, well, first things first, I need to remove this JCW spoiler off of the back of my Mini Cooper so that we could go ahead and start making up fitment on the new spoiler. And by the way, removing these are like uber simple. You just pop these things off right here, and then it gives you access to the bolts or to the screws, whatever you want to call them, and then you unscrew it, pops right off. Okay, so the 5 bolts here are completely out now, but one more thing I want to show you is the plastic trim pieces that go here. What you're going to do is you're going to pull these down towards you just slightly and then pull back. It's pretty easy to remove. Like I said, pull this way and then pull back towards you, and then you have an 8mm bolt right here that you need to take out and one on the other side. All right, so as you can see, it is removed off now. You are going to have to give it like a nice pull back on the spoiler in order to get this off, because these little clips are what's retaining it in right here. So you do need to pull it off. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and switch in the base model Cooper spoiler, and basically all we're doing is reversing the process that we did to take off of the JCW spoiler. Okay, so we ran into a little bit of an issue with putting on the factory base model spoiler, and basically what it was, the person that I purchased the base model spoiler off of, which was from eBay, he sent me one for an F55, so it did not line up properly. So what I ended up having to do is I reached out to the folks at outmotoring.com, which, by the way, I will include all the part numbers and links to the products themselves in the description box below. And I ended up just buying a completely brand new base model spoiler. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this base model spoiler. So let me show it to you here. It does come primed and ready to paint, but I'm going to take it over to my boy Kamal's shop and have him paint it in gloss black for me, because he's going to be painting the carbon fiber sides to match the body color for me anyways on the GP spoiler. And so he's just going to go ahead and paint this for me in the piano black. This way it'll all match and it'll all look really good. But yeah, so we're going to take this over to him now so he can go ahead and get it painted up, and this way we can go ahead and finish up the install on the GP spoiler. All right, so Kamal just finished painting all of the pieces, and let me just show you. I'm so glad I did the color match, because now if you look at the carbon fiber, so the carbon fiber is only going to be in the center, and then you'll have this that's color matched. Look how that's going to pop. That thing is going to pop really nicely. And then the other thing, let me show you real quick here, but the other thing he did was paint up the brand new spoiler and this thing looks just so nice. I mean, it's beautiful. He buffed this thing out to perfection. It looks brand new off the factory line. I mean, heck, even better with this clear coat. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get this installed, and then we'll go ahead and get back to getting the GP spoiler finally on. Now, I went ahead and put it all together just so I can see what it looks like before it gets on to the Mini, and this thing, it looks nice. It looks really nice. It came out really good. It's popping just the way I wanted to. If I would have left it carbon, I felt like it would have been over carbon, and then I felt like if I would have painted it black or had gotten black ones, it wouldn't have popped as much, meaning the carbon fiber wouldn't have popped as much. Now it like pops a lot. This, I got inspiration from this from like the old Skyline GTRs, the R33s, and even the R32s. This is a similar styling of how it would have been done with the sides painted and then the center in carbon. So that's where I got the inspiration on this, but it looks good. Came out really nice. Anyways, we need to go ahead and get this thing onto the Mini Cooper, and then we'll go ahead and mock this thing up. Oh, that looks so much better than the JCW spoiler. Even just doing this, I would do it. I feel like it gives it much more of like a mini vibe than it does with that JCW spoiler. But then again, I'm not a fan of the JCW spoiler. I've never been a fan of the JCW spoiler. As silly as it sounds, like I almost didn't want a JCW because of the JCW spoiler. I actually think the S looks better. The spoiler looks better than the JCW. But then again, you know, obviously we all have our own preferences and styles and tastes and stuff like that. But yeah, this thing, that looks so much better to me, in my opinion. I mean, I think that looks really good. Now we just have to fit on the GP spoiler. All right, so now I've run into a little bit of an issue, which I want to show you guys here, just in case you run into the same issue. I've taped off, as you can see here, a portion on the side. This area right here, this little lip piece, I need to grind down a little bit. The reason I need to grind it down is, let me show you here. Actually hitting or scraping onto this piece, as you can see. Oh, I need to polish this up before I put that back on. But yeah, it's basically hitting on to this piece right here, which is not allowing it to sit properly. And I hope I can get this off. I'm sure I can buff it out. Looks like it's right on top of the clear. Now what I'm gonna have to do is I'll go ahead and cut this piece down and then get these pieces fitted. I actually messed up the original one, the original set that I had to order a whole new set of these. Basically, here goes the dummy one. They are meant to be painted, so these were painted for me at Kamal's shop, and I had to make several adjustments to them in order to get them to fit. But one thing I noticed here is this bottom piece over here is much, like, significantly more thicker than these pieces. By the way, this is the other side. If you see here, look how thin that is now. So it's a lot more thin now than the previous piece, but that's kind of where we're at now. Let me go ahead and grind this off, and then we'll go ahead and get them refitted and see how they come out. Just made the cuts. So this is what it's going to look like. This is how you're probably going to have to do yours as well if you plan on keeping on those the black trim pieces. Let me show you the other side too here. So I cleaned it up as nicely as I could. I mean, it's semi not visible. I guess we'll see once it's fully mounted onto the Mini, which is exactly what we need to do next. I still got to drill out the two small holes here that'll mount it to the body or to the trunk, to the hatch. And then, yeah, get this thing mounted up here. So let's go ahead and drill out these holes and mount it up and then show you all a finished product. All right, well, I just finished up the installation on this thing, and I want to say, let me, well, you all know, I'm really honest with you guys, and I want to say I'm not too happy about how it turned out. The spoiler requires quite a bit of modification in order to get it fitted properly. And then even when fitting it, so like right here, it's like bowing in on the sides. And then here as well, it's bowing in. Over there, it's touching. So even though we got to clear the corner properly right here, I would still need to do some shaving of the inside on the other side of this part. And then same thing, we got it to clear this portion, but we would have to do a lot more shaving in on the inside of here in order to get this to fit properly. And then if you see here, there's like a gap right over here. And no matter how tight I tighten this, it still remains a gap, like right here. And then here, which is a cause for concern, this is like warping in. This is like going in, and like I didn't force fit this in any way, shape, or form. So if your thoughts are, okay, well maybe, you know, you forced it in, this wasn't force fitted in at all. And then here, yeah, look, like no matter how tight, look how tight that screw is. No matter how tight I tighten this thing down, it's just not leaning flat against this thing. The spacing, it just seems like the spacing might be off here, but yeah, and if you look from this angle, it's actually bowed. So I don't know if you could see it, but that side is more gapped than this side is, and they're in the exact same position right there and right there. They're literally in the exact same position. So for those of you who are wondering, yes, they're in the exact same spot. Everything was measured using calipers. And yeah, and so I don't know. And look, my whole thing is this. I've spent a lot of money already on my Mini Cooper JCW. My wide body conversion, I can't even begin to tell you how much money it costed to do it the way that I wanted it to be done. There's a lot cheaper ways of doing the wide body conversion, but the way that I wanted it done, it was very, very expensive. Like I could essentially buy another vehicle with the cost of how much it costed to do it the right way. Right way, of course, in my opinion, right? Meaning like I could literally slam my Mini Cooper and it will still ride perfectly, no rubbing anywhere. Everything is done, fit and finish. Everything came out immaculate. That's really expensive. And then plus the venturi intake, like the exhaust system, like all my mods in total, I have a lot of money into my JCW right now. And then to go and put a product on that I'm personally not satisfied, it does require quite a bit of modification, in my opinion. Obviously, when I say quite a bit of modification, to some people, they could be like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. Well, great. Then this is the perfect spoiler for you. If it's not a big deal to like shave this piece and shave that piece, etc., it's the perfect spoiler for you. I'm already looking at, after I put this on here, I'm already looking at on my phone different options, because I did spend a lot of money already to convert this to the Cooper S spoiler, which I will include links in the description box below to all this stuff if you're interested in picking this up. So in terms of the spoiler itself, the carbon fiber spoiler, I got that from killallchrome.com. There's several other variations out there, so I'm not saying that all the other variations that are out there are going to be the same as this one. There are differences and tolerance variances with whoever you get your spoiler from. This particular one, like I said, I got it from killallchrome.com. I think it's .com, or it might be .co.uk. Anyways, I'll put a link in the description box below. So if you are interested in picking up this spoiler, you can save yourself some money if you use code Bertini, which will also be in the description box below. Same thing with the Cooper S spoiler. If you're interested in picking one up, I'll put a link to that in the description box below, where you can save a bit of money on purchasing that. I got that from outmotoring.com, which I absolutely love. They always take care of me in terms of the shipping, getting these things to me really quickly, so that's pretty awesome. But after I finish with this video, this spoiler is going to be coming off of my Mini Cooper. I can't do it. In my mind, it could be the Virgo in me, but in my mind, just knowing all the modifications that I had to make and like the bowing and the tolerances, like I would rather just eat the cost of what it costed me to purchase this spoiler, which it turned out to be a pretty expensive mod for me because I had to purchase another set of side pieces because the first side pieces like overcut, if you will. And that's another thing you run into. Like if you don't cut properly, meaning like you cut out of a place that maybe didn't need cutting and then test fitting and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work. And so this will be coming off of my Mini Cooper. You'll have to stay tuned into a future video if you're interested in seeing what spoiler I end up going with. But I'm definitely not going to go cheap. Although this wasn't cheap either. This is pretty damn expensive. I think all in all, with the additional side pieces, I'm probably in $600 just on this spoiler alone, US dollars. On this spoiler alone, maybe 5 something. Yeah, 5 something. But that doesn't even include converting to the Cooper S spoiler. But anyways, that's kind of how the modding game goes, right? Now, you'll want to stay tuned in for some upcoming videos because I have some really cool stuff in the pipeline for my Mini Cooper, for my quad, for my turbo Harley Davidson bagger. So, and there might be another bike coming to the channel soon. So there's some pretty cool stuff going on here. But yeah, for now, would I recommend buying this spoiler if you're interested in doing all this modification to it? Yes. It looks like a good quality product. Not crazy about the tolerances, in my opinion, once again. But it's up to you to make that decision. I will include links in the description box below. If you are interested in picking it up, you can use code Bertini, save yourself some money. So that'll help you out a little bit there. But yeah, at least for now, that's my thoughts on it. It's coming off the Cooper right after I finish up this video. With that being said, don't forget to hit the like button on this video. That helps my videos grow. It helps the channel grow, as well as if you have not yet subscribed to the Bertini family, go ahead and click the subscribe button below this so you could join the Bertini family, become a part of the community. And yeah, and it's free to do so. Like I always said, free 99. And that's not, for those of you guys who don't get the joke, it's not like free and then $99. It's like free 99. Like $3.99, but free 99. Anyways, make sure you're putting out good energy into the world and you're paying it forward. I'll check y'all out later. Bye now.